Oh, the world is loading in front of me. Welcome back. Hope you had fun trick or treating. I know I missed an upload for those who are thinking, was this supposed to go up earlier? No, no, I just had nothing. And I wasn't just going to record some truly nothing video just to throw in on that day. So I had nothing. Today I had the mow the lawn. That was fun as always. Remember as a child, my father, I used to, as a child, I had a computer because it was my father's computer, when he got a new one, went to my sister, and then my sister's old computer went to me. So I always had the oldest computer, which was fine by me. I wasn't using it for much. But there I was just, I'm not even going to say working on the computer, I would just be playing games mainly, right? And my mouse would freeze up, and then I would complain, or something would be freezing up, and I'd go get my dad. And most of the time, the answer was probably it just needed more time to load. But then, I would yell, scream, whatever I would do as a young child. I imagine it wasn't actually that bad. It was probably just I start complaining. Then my dad would show up. He would grab the mouse, shake it, everything would start working again. And now, the shoe was on the other foot today. For the past few years, I've been the one who's mowed the lawn for my family. And today, my dad wanted to get some section of the yard that I said was a waste of time. So he went over and he started going to mow it, and he had left the lawnmower for a few minutes, just sitting there. And then I'm standing in the window eating my very delayed breakfast, watching him try to start it, and it's not starting. So I go out there, and the moment I step outside and I walk up to the lawnmower, he's like, I don't know what's happening. And then he pulls the cord, and it immediately starts working. My lawnmower knows about stranger danger. What can I say? Other than that, not much has been happening. I was on the highway the other day driving my vehicle, and it was raining quite heavy. And for those of you who don't know, for those of you who don't drive for whatever reason, it doesn't really matter. When you drive into the incoming rain, it gets on your windshield a lot faster than if you were just standing in the rain. So there's a lot of rain on the windshield. It becomes blinding. It's a giant sheet of distortion. And that's no good. And giant sheet of distortion, no good. You can't see through it. You can't do much. So I'm just trying to figure out like how am I. Or let me get to the part of the story that's actually interesting. I'm driving through the rain, and people drive worse in the rain. I'm just trying to get to my destination, and then my windshield wiper stops in the upwards position, just the one in front of me. The right there's two of them in the front. Right one's fine, just mine stops. Just like the one right in front of me stops. So I have this giant sheet, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get to my destination safely. I know I'm a few miles away. So what I do is I slow down, give some more space, and I can still recognize the shapes of the vehicles ahead of me. So I'm relying on that now. But I need to know when my exit is. I can't read the signs, so I have. Thankfully, the right side still works, so I could lean back, look, and I could see the signs. And so I was like, all right, this is manageable. So anyways, that was an experience. I managed to get to my destination safely, and when I arrived to the city I was driving to, the rain had greatly subsided. But I had to get there first, and that can be quite startling. for lack of a better word. But I made it back to my abode just fine. Nothing really of consequence, which was good. Now I probably don't need these fences in my inventory anymore. All this wheat we can store some of. I don't exactly have a plan. Never do. Anyways, the problem with it is I then checked to see if I could identify the problem, and I could. It wasn't too difficult. My dad has already ordered the part to fix it, but some piece that was so the way a window wiper works, essentially you've got like essentially a metal shaft. Well, let's start with the part that most people are aware of. You got your windshield wiper. It is your typical windshield wiper blade. It goes side to side, and you see it goes in that arc. It's like 90 degrees. It goes from like face down all the way up, face down. And so it's not complicated. You understand what I'm talking about. Just taking that 90-degree arc. Mine stopped at the upwards, like if it were pointed to 12 on a clock. And the way the windshield wiper works is that it's sort of locked by this joint, and then that piece goes into another like metal arm that connects at it like the second hand on a clock to the centerpiece of the clock. And so when that metal shaft goes pushes, the arm goes down. The windshield wiper arm goes down. And then when it pulls back up, or when it pulls towards the center of the car, the windshield wiper goes up. And then, so that bar just goes side to side. And what happened was that connection joint between that arm and the windshield wiper it slipped out. Whatever piece that was normally there to hold it together had broken off. And so, I mean, no harm came to me, nothing really dangerous happened, so I'm doing just fine. But, it's still like a oh god moment, because it's not exactly nice to have your vehicle not operating properly. In fact, I'd say most people probably prefer it when their vehicle operates properly. I know it's a bold assumption, but I'm going to assume it nonetheless. We're going to really strengthen this. There we go. We'll take the geas out. Now, Gander. What's good about Gander? It's a pretty decent all-around spell. It's your classic magic missile. It's not anything too special. I was going to demonstrate it, but I can't hit most things. That's fun. I'll demonstrate it the next time we encounter something that can be blasted using magic. It's probably the second strongest thing I can gain access to. There is technically one thing stronger, but I'm going to delay making the most powerful weapon I know how to make. I only have a geas on squids, because I think I specifically didn't apply it to squids. So again, you create this orb, and you fire it, and people die if they are killed. So Gander is Rin Tosaka's like black orb shot that she does. And it also cleanses any negative effects on me. Now, the damage it does is proportional to my maximum mana, I believe. And so, fact is that my maximum mana has been going up quite consistently. These tomatoes are done. The beetroots have matured. Getting a lot more lag than I usually do. Don't know exactly what's causing it. Oh, you know what? Yes, I do. Whoops. I'll tab to the wrong thing. You can close Discord as well. Doesn't particularly matter, but you know. Usually I'm not trying to show off my Discord. I doubt there was anything damnable there. And I probably won't bother checking. What are torch flowers? Why were they growing here? Did I plant these? Or did they just grow from the random seeds I planted? That's kind of interesting if that's what happened. Anyways, my beetroots seem to be growing the fastest of all my plants. Probably make some more tomato seeds, plant these with the rest. What's the plan? Don't really have one. I kind of feel like exploring, but my inventory feels quite limited because I'm always stuffing it filled with junk. Oh, did I throw out my other hoe as well? Did I make a new hoe and throw out that hoe? I absolutely did, didn't I? I 100% did. Alright, well. Guy root sticks. That's the same chest. Where are my regular sticks? I spent them all on the fences, that's right. Voila. I've done the impossible. I'm going to use like my third or fourth hoe to make more farmland. You know what I've just realized? I have exactly 3 slots, right? Yep. Alright. Actually, I have more than 3 slots. I think I have exactly 5 slots, which now means I have these spots for these tomato seeds. What about the rice? How's the rice growing? These are the important questions. Whoops, I absolutely just cleaved in a line. The rice seems to really be taking the longest to grow out of all my crops. There's got to be something. There's got to be... Ars Nouveau probably has a magic machine that works with this, but I don't know about magic machines too much. So what are my other options? If I look up farm, gold egg creates a 5x5 area of delightful dirt. Alright. Rotten egg. That's for dreadful dirt. I'm about to sneeze 1 second. Alright. Sneezing over. Thank you for blessing me. Those of you who had the right. For those of you who are not divine, I don't know how you blessed me, but impressive work, nonetheless. Oh, hey, look, sticks. Oh, and this is my good sword. Should probably keep that on my hotbar. But the word plant, does that do anything? Pitcher plant. Alright, so we tried farm, we tried plant. Do I have the lily pad of fertility? Plate of lily chicken. That requires a huge water lily, a roast chicken, and a huge lily pad. Roast chicken. Honestly, this seems extremely easy to farm because it's just vanilla items, and the chicken can be farmed very easily. All I need is onions. If I had onions, I could farm this very easily. I just need a very large egg farm, and then I could produce this. Carrots, potatoes, and bread are all easily farmed. Onions, if I could find onion seeds. And then huge lily pads and the huge water lilies, I imagine, aren't difficult to obtain. Well, armed with magic and just enough food, I guess it's time for Minecraft's other most famous mod. Oh, so somebody disliked my video that I called Minecraft's most famous mod, which was, of course, about the Aether. And I don't think that's the wrong title for it. I think the answer probably is they disagreed with me, not the not the title. And it better have been that way. I will not stand for it. For somebody to call somebody that video when I articulated, that person better have disliked the video because of me and not because of the Aether. Because the Aether is a fantastically done dimension mod. It doesn't add so much as to be overwhelming, but it gives you things to do and it gives its own resource type. And that's perfect. Twilight's Forest, probably a little bit better than the Aether, but that's because the Twilight Forest, I hesitate to say put in more effort, but that's what I'm going to go with. It simply just feels like they put in more effort. I'm curious, are elks in my do not kill? Can I kill elks? No, I cannot, so they are gassed. And then we can just spend all of my spare mana, because I do have lots of spare mana, on just strengthening the gauntlet. So strengthening appears, from my experience, to work based off of how many times you would have reduced durability. And so every time I cast something, it goes through like a use of strengthening. And I'm not sure exactly how it works in all regards, I just know it seems to stack in duration based off of how many times I strengthen. I had a friend a while back who, when we were playing all the mods, he just decided to only do the Twilight's Forest. And he's not as big into Minecraft, so I thought it was a great idea, and he had a lot of fun with it. Well, from my understanding, I'm not going to put words in his mouth. Maybe he had a miserable time. But from my understanding, he had a good time. Also, the reason that water lily chicken looks really easy, I can already count like 5 water lilies, and I'm assuming you get more than one. I'm assuming it works something like a cake, where you get the block and you make several of the dish. But as you can see, there are several water lilies just in this section here. And then if I walk over here, I bet there will be more. Now you do have to advance the Twilight's Forest a little bit. Yeah, there's more over there. In order to access that area, but let us be reasonable. That is absolutely obtainable. Just go there. That also means my sheep farm isn't as effective, but I'll need wool for all types of things with magic mods, so I have no qualms with just having a wool farm. That happens to be magenta. Ah, and from here we can actually see diagonally into the swamp. There's the fire swamp over there. Fire swamp's important because that's where the Hydra is. So Twilight's Forest is a progression-based mod where you can't really advance. Yeah, look at all of those just here. I have enough food where I can probably... Yeah, so the giant lily pads will probably be a little more costly than the water lilies. You've got a sword, pal. That's not cool. Biome locked. Yeah, so... There are also giant lily pads in there. It's just I saw a collection of huge water lilies, so... Now then, I think it's time we, whoops. I actually pushed several buttons at once. I think it's time we, get over this. Let's see, what do we need? Strengthening, we always keep in here. Realize we'll swap out. Alright, borrowed authority. Yeah, so vision becomes very obscured. We get the hunger effect. But... I also didn't see any giant lily pads while I was in that one? Regular lily pads. Any borrowed authority to wear off. Alright, here we go. Giant lily pads. So even without advancing... Oh, look at all these. Yeah, sure, I'm getting a little hungry. Just thinking about it. So there we go. I now have the ability to craft even more of them. And I'm playing on hard mode, so I will actually die of hunger if I get too hungry. Oh, and that sound is something. I like to try to avoid being negative in my word choice. But they chose that sound for a very particular reason. I'm out of sprint. I eat some more bread. Now, I'm actually going to try a mushroom stew, because it comes with comfort. I'm not sure exactly what comfort does, but... I've got it. Oh, I'm out of food again. How much have we got? 15 big lily pads, 20 big lilies, or water lilies. Oh, that sound is immaculate. So we'll start taking damage here. I'm running deeper into the... Oh, here we go. Here's the way out. Oh, so comfort appears to be a regeneration effect. So I can regen even while having non-full hunger. That could certainly be useful. Anyways, this is why I saw this recipe, the nourishment fire resistance food, that it does require some experience. I think that is not an output but an input. And it requires the cooking pot, a huge lily, a roast chicken. Here's the roast chicken. So right now, in order to advance the Twilight's Forest further than we are at right now, requires us to find the Naga. So this is the Lich, that's the second one. So we need to find the Naga. And then we need to hope that Apotheosis didn't turn the Naga into a freak of nature. Oh, I also got the bug with a borrowed authority where I think the bug's happening because I'm overwriting it with the dagger. We'll see if it happens again. If it does, then it's probably stacking with the dagger causes it problems. Nope, now I'm fine. Could have been anything. Complex magical abilities and all that. These elk make the weirdest sounds. I didn't think there was oceans in the... Wait, no, there's exactly one type of ocean in the Twilight's Forest. And in the center, there's... In the center of the lake, there's something special. I don't remember exactly how it works, though. Here, maybe it's in the advancements? Mutant monsters. Burn zombie burn. Use a flint and steel to light a mutant zombie on fire when it's done. Right, that's how you finish it. Hatch a creeper egg. Hulk smash. Feed a pig a fermented spider eye and throw chemical X at it. Create a mutant snow golem. Kill a mutant skeleton using a crossbow while wearing a full set of mutant skeleton. Obtain a potion of chemical X. Alright. Find a wayward quest. Ooh, that seems interesting. Craft an arcane anvil. Defeat the silver boss. The bronze dungeon. Defying gravity. Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff that I still have to explore. The Nether. I haven't even touched foot. When dungeons arise. Yeah. Twilight's Forest. Here we go. The questing ram. Eat every edible item exclusive to Twilight's Forest. We dine at eternal sundown. It's a good one. Yeah, right now we need to... We've done a maze. It doesn't tell you everything that's... the maniacal dendrologist. Get your axes and shears ready. Search every nook and cranny. Get anything and everything that comes from the trees. Craft loot. This is a completionist's nightmare. Everything wood-based, or everything tree-based, alright? Time to even the scales. Slay the Naga in the forest courtyard? That's what I'm currently trying to do. Something else you can normally do is you can create a Twilight's Forest map, which is actually quite useful. It points out things on the map, but I'm going to do without it because I specifically know what I'm looking for on the minimap, though the minimap is dark because it considers Twilight's Forest to be nighttime. And that's because it's eternal twilight. That's where it gets its name from. What the dog doing? Yeah, so we have a Lich's Tower. Toggle train markers. You know, I'm not sure. Done that. So I've spotted 2 of these Lich Towers. The Lich is also worrisome to me because I'm used to using an ancient technique where you cheese out the boss, but I'm not sure. Oh, actually, I know for a fact it doesn't work anymore, and I don't have Tinker's Construct, so I can't do it anymore. This is the Fire Swamp. Comes with the swamps nearby. Those are for 2 of the bosses. These Highlands are for like the final step. I'm going to continue doing this circle around this way because I don't want to go too far from my portal. Plus, it's not like going farther increases the odds. It's just as I adventure, I will have odds of finding what I'm looking for. Things are biome specific, but the biomes tend to change fairly frequently. Some nice little tunes. Hope you're doing well. You know what? Here, let's have a dialogue, even though I can't hear you. I want to know how you're doing. Tell me how you're doing, but don't put it in the comments. Just, I mean, you can if you want to, but it's not what I meant inherently by how are you doing. I just mean, like, how are you doing? Just talk to your screen. I can't hear you, but if I could, I'd be very interested. Ah, alright, so this is the snow area. I can probably kill that guy. It just gives you an extreme amount of slowness. It's not actually that bad. As you can see, it does do a fair amount of damage, as I did just murk one of them. And it does AoE damage. There we go. It'll give me an extreme amount of slowness. We'll get our... Man, that dude's throwing hands with me. Get Wolfbrand's Fortunate Arctic Bassinet of the Spell Warden. We also got Arctic Fur. It's dyeable. Neat. Gives luck, max HP, 2 slots. Nice. 2 armor, 3 armor toughness with mind give. Honestly, I think it's just all around better than what I had. Wait, if it's dyeable, then that means I could also give it a fun color. Let's go with red. Red feels like a good, like a Little Red Riding Hood type vibe. Yeah, that's real neat. I like that. Heath has awoken. Yeah, he's deeper into the snow. Remember when I was playing all the mods back in the day? Dragons would spawn very frequently in the Twilight's Forest. They sort of just spawn frequently everywhere, which was kind of defeats the purpose of them being this cool legendary mob if they're common. They were also really strong as if they were a super rare mob, so the balancing wasn't very... I mean, I don't mean the balancing of the dragons wasn't there. They're supposed to be tough. Yes, I agree. They should be tough. But because they're tough, they should be infrequent. Which they were decidedly not. In my free time, I've also been throwing on the Markiplier Five Nights at Freddy's. Those are always a fun watch. Something to always go back to. And I was so excited when I got to the famous Markiplier line because I had watched him go through the game, and I was actually in the shower when I had this set up because I put it on like the shelf where the shampoos are. I put my phone and then I put it in a Ziploc bag first, and then I take my shower usually while listening to music, but I was just throwing on the Markiplier video because it's just sort of background noise one way or the other. But then I heard him like reading off the text from the screen, and then I look over and I was like, it's there it is. And I just sat there on edge waiting for him to deliver the line, and it was just as great as I remember. Was that the bite of 87? Still, it is that. It is a Markiplier moment of all time. Oh, so this is the area with the acid rain. You need the lamp in order to burn the thorns. It's like one of the last things you do. Man, normally the Naga is one of the most frequent. So I'm just getting unlucky. Also, it can be really annoying to get around because all of them sort of take like an X shape. So, as you can see, there's this set piece, or like a plus sign shape, I guess. There's a circle in the center, and then there's 4 of the lesser version of that biome that branch off of it. And the reason for this is that you do one of the 4 branching offs, and this is for the snow as well. In the middle of the snow, there is the coolest looking block in the entirety of modded Minecraft's history. Maybe not. I know it's even the coolest in this mod pack, but non like special like fancy block, just like on its own, it's very cool. It's in the center of this. The lich towers are on their own. The swamps are like this with a fire swamp in the center. And I haven't seen it yet, but there's also a dark forest that possesses the haunted armor. And in the center is the crimson forest that possesses the Ergast. And I mean, those were all real words. I know it probably doesn't feel like it, but those were all real words. Also, I'm burning through so much bread just... Oh, shoot, I have Gander, and that's what... Bard Authority. Let me triple my speed. This is the acid rain, it does damage. Aha! Here we are. So back in the day, this used to look a lot worse than it does now. So I'm going to take out Bard Authority. It'll probably be too much to have. And this tree is too big. Cannot be broken in one swing. Okie dokie. Build a staircase up and over. And the boss hasn't spawned, but oh, there he is. Normally with Apotheosis, every mob becomes... Oh god! Okay. I freaked out a little bit. But to be fair, there was a giant snake trying to eat me. Maybe it wasn't trying to eat me. There was a giant snake assaulting me. The Naga is the easiest of the Twilight Forest bosses, and I will demonstrate that by easily defeating him within the maze. Once I can see him. Aha! I missed. I think you have to hit the head, and he is a swift dude. As you can see, Gander does a good amount of damage. He also does a good amount of damage to me. And then he vanished? How'd he get behind me? Can he teleport? So when he rattles, that means he's charging up his dash. Yeah, and then he strikes at you. It doesn't appear that he is apothosified. So you take evasive maneuvers whenever he starts dashing at you, because that's when he can hit you. I am just bad. It's not fair. Alright, pal, here. Have a strike from my good sword. Never mind. Jeez, he does also hurt. He's a boss. Thankfully he missed there. I'm eating my comfort food. More appropriate. Also lagging a little bit during the fight. As we know, you always want to be lagging while fighting. Getting some good shots though. Tracking him a bit better. It looks like he is now enraged, which probably means he is increased speed. So the floor sort of breaks underneath your feet when you're on walls and stuff. It sometimes applies to things like these, where the hedges were. Oh, jeez. And one last one ought to do it. Should also probably figure out how to use these hard containers. Yeah, and instead of just dropping his loot, they throw it into these chests. If you have, I believe it is a immersive engineering, I believe is the mod that does it. But if you have immersive engineering, you can those chests will have Twilight shader packs. So shaders for your guns and other high-tech tools. My staircase. It's broken. There are some cool blocks in here. But they'll come with certain designs for your guns and stuff, which is neat. That they just already have mod compatibility. I love when there's just like built-in mod compatibility to stuff like that. Now that you have even just touched the scales, that's the only requirement to be able to now go in. If we go to advancements, that's enough for me to bring out the dead. Yes, slay the lich at the so this said slay the Naga in its forest courtyard to obtain a Naga scale to overcome the barrier magic surrounding the lich's tower. And you can do that has given us new objectives. So bring out your dead, slay the lich at the top of his tower, and retrieve a scepter to clear poisonous mosquitoes from the swamp. See through the blinding darkness of the dark forest curse and resist the snowy forest chill. So we have Trophy Champion. That's for the Dark Forest. It used to be that you had to do them one after another. So the way it used to have to be was you had to do Lich. After you did Lich, you had to do Mighty Stroganoff. Eat a meat stroganoff to acclimate your body to the dangerous heat of the fire swamp. And then it was use the Hydra's blood to heat yourself up to go into the or no, that was to heat to have enough to heat up your eyes or something so that you can see through the darkness. And then you would have the claim your title by placing a trophy on the pedestal in the dark forest ruins. And then defeat the Urgast, and then use the Crimson Blood to heat your blood so you can resist the chill of the cold. And then you get the Yeti fur to be able to get even deeper cold. Then you can fight the Snow Queen. And then the Snow Queen was for acid. But then they appear to have just made it so you can do all of those things. Which is just much better game design in general. They broke the linearity and made it a little more choice-based. And the bosses never really seemed to scale that much in difficulty. The Naga is definitely stronger than he used to be way back in the day. Because way back in the day, he was kind of a joke. Also, it appears my strengthening has broken. So, we'll just put some more. It doesn't last that long. Also, this only has like 10 durability, so using 1 durability on it, it's kind of a big deal. Though I was using it a lot, as you saw, so I got much more than 10 gander shots out. I should stop just moving in a random direction. We know where some towers are. Oh, this is the direction of a tower anyways. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Now that we've defeated the Naga, we'll continue in the next episode, which I'll just record immediately. Don't worry, finally getting that Minecraft content I know you all love. But we want more Warframe. That's why we have more views on your Warframe videos. You don't want more Warframe. You want more Minecraft. But there's 1,000 Minecraft YouTubers, maybe even more than 1,000. There's only like a handful of Warframe YouTubers. Hey, you'll get your Warframe. I'm a variety content creator, as you can see. The variety between modded Minecraft and regular Warframe. Hey, eventually I'll get that variety up. I plan on eventually doing like a RimWorld colony, because I want to replay RimWorld, but when I have a little more time, I'll probably also grab some mods though, because it should have a lot of interesting mods by now. But anyways, I'm going to stop wasting your time with this overextended outro. Happy Halloween.